A sphere is a collection of points in space that are a given distance from a point. The point is called the center of the sphere. The radius is the distance from the center to a point on the sphere. So to calculate the volume of a sphere, which is how much it would take to fill a sphere, you have to use this volume of a sphere formula, which is V equals 4 over 3 pi r cubed, where r equals the radius of the sphere. So for number 20, it says use pi equals 3.14, round your answer to the nearest hundredth. So in our picture of our sphere, we can tell that our radius is 7, so our r equals 7. So because we need to find the volume, using the volume formula for a sphere, which is 4 over 3 pi r cubed, we would plug into that the 7 for our r, so 4 over 3 pi times 7 cubed. It asks us to use 3.14. So when we go to our calculator, we're going to do alpha y equals to get our fraction. We're going to do 4 over 3. Get out from underneath our fraction. Do 3.14 times 7 to the third. So when we do that, we hit enter, and we get 1,436.026. So 1,436.03, because it does ask us to round to the nearest hundredth. All right, number 29 says leave your answer in terms of pi. So when it asks us to leave our answer in terms of pi, that means we're not going to plug in pi into our calculator. We're just going to deal with the numbers. So the first thing we need to know is what is the radius of the sphere that we're given. And so we are given the diameter in this particular picture, and our diameter is 12. So our radius would be half of that, which is 6. So we plug into our volume formula, 4 over 3 pi times 6 cubed. So it asks us to leave it in terms of pi, which just means we want a pi in our answer. So we're going to go to our calculator, and we're going to plug in all of the numbers that aren't pi. So we're going to say alpha y equals to get our fraction of 4 over 3. We're going to skip the part with the pi, and we're going to do 6 to the third. And that gives us 288. So our answer would be 288 pi. And remember, you always want to put your units. So on number 28, it would have been centimeters cubed because it's volume, and on 29, it would be meters cubed. All right, you try number 30. So on number 30, you have to first get your radius. So you're given a diameter of 36, and half of 36 would be 18. The question asks us for the volume, so we've got to use the volume of a sphere formula, which is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. We know that our r is 18, so we're going to do 4 over 3 pi 18 cubed. The question asks us to leave it in terms of pi, so we're going to plug in everything in our formula except for the pi. So we're going to do alpha y equals to get our fraction. We're going to do 4 over 3, leave our pi, and do 18 to the third, and then enter. So that gives us 0.7776, but we have to keep our pi in there because it asks us to leave it in terms of pi. And then we are going to do meters cubed as our units. And the last question is about an ice cream cone. So an ice cream cone is 9 centimeters deep and 4 centimeters across. A single scoop of ice cream, 4 centimeters in diameter, is placed on the top. If the ice cream melts into the cone, will it overflow? Assume that the ice cream's volume doesn't change as it melts. Okay, so when it asks us if it will overflow, what that basically means is we want to know, is our volume of the ice cream going to be greater than the volume of the cone? So we're going to have to do two different volume formulas. So we're going to have to do the volume of the cone. And so remember, our volume formula for a cone, you talked about yesterday, is 1/3 pi r squared h. So remember, it's 1/3 big BH, but your base of your cone is a circle, so that's where the pi r squared comes from. We also have to do the volume of the ice cream. So the volume of, let me go back. So your volume of your ice cream, which is going to be a sphere. So this is our sphere. This is our cone. Okay, so the volume formula for a sphere is pi r, or 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, so it tells us that our diameter is 4, so that's here in our problem. So if our diameter is 4, then that means that our radius is going to have to be 2. So let's start with the sphere, just because we've been talking about spheres. So we'll do 4/3 pi 2 cubed. So let's plug it in our calculator. So alpha y equals, we're going to do 4/3, do our pi, which is a second caret. Then we're going to do 2 to the third, and then enter. So whenever we do that, we get 33.5. Okay, so now we need to find the volume of the cone. Okay, so it tells us that our cone is 9 centimeters deep, so that means basically the height of the cone would be 9, and it's 4 centimeters across. So our radius, let me go over here, the height would be 9, and the radius would be, it's 4 centimeters across the top, so our radius would be 2, because across the top would be the diameter. So because we want the radius, we're going to half it. So we plug into our formula, 1/3 pi times 2 squared times 9. So plug all of that into your calculator. So alpha y equals, to get your fraction, you're going to do 1/3, do second caret, oh, not in there. So make sure you get out from underneath your fraction and then do second caret. Then you're going to do 2 squared times 9, and then enter. So that gives you 37, we'll say 37.7. Now, remember, you want your ice cream, which is your sphere, to be less than your cone, because we don't want the ice cream to melt and overflow out of the cone. So when I look at the volume of the sphere, it's 33.5. When I look at the volume of the cone, it's 37.7. So because the sphere is smaller than the cone, that means that the ice cream will not overflow.